You don't ever see a Rolls Royce commercial. You don't see it. You never really even see them going on sale. You never drive past the BMW dealership or the Porsche dealership and see a Rolls Royce sitting out there in the parking lot on sale. So it's the same thing with a quality man or a quality woman. It's the same thing, friend. So when and that's my opinion as to why people say that they don't exist or there's some sort of lack in the amount of them. It's not a lack or a drought. It's just that they don't advertise themselves. You wouldn't see them. They're the type of people that are voyeurs, probably in your circle. I'm not talking about they're quiet and docile, and no, they don't have to be. But you wouldn't see them because those qualities, they don't parade. How do you parade loyalty? How? Without corrupting it. How? Do you go around telling everybody all the things you've done that were loyal? Because if you do, you're discrediting and you're making yourself look suspicious. You're discrediting your actions and you're making yourself look suspicious. How do you parade and market honesty, integrity, trustworthiness? How do you parade that? That is something that you don't parade. That is something that others speak of you freely. You cannot parade that yourself without disqualifying yourself or discrediting the value of yourself. How do you market your love for spirit, your wonder and fascination of God, your yearning and your search that you yourself do in your daily life, in the uncovering of God in all God's many aspects in life? How do you market that? Do you preach, talk about it, write about it? Because in your search for God, from what I have gathered, friend, in my search for God, it has been a fine tuning. It has been a quiet walk that I've had that nobody knew I had. It has been the thing that I could not share with everybody. It wasn't the type of conversation you bring up in every circle. You set that conversation in front of a select group of people that can honor it. You don't just pour that out in front of everybody. You're not about to go to the bar and get to talking about Genesis and how you have pondered God over a margarita at the bar. I mean, you could, and nothing against it. But it's just not something that you find common. So most people would not know your deep fascination and your yearning for God because it is a strictly personal thing. Unless you met someone that shared that commonality and you you blossom out like a flower and you're able to tap in that conversation with that person. Those are rare conversations. They have been for me. I don't find those types of people often. So the type of people that you would consider good people, quality people are all around you. They just might not look like you want them to look. Because one thing I have also noticed, friend, a lot, I'll say this amongst women, all the quality women that I've met in my life that have been single, wore many hats, including myself. You got to be, the breadwinner. You got to be the spiritual mediator of the family. You the manager, administrator, CFO, CEO. You the security guard. You the watchman at the gate. You're wearing all these hats throughout the many seasons of life. You the chef, the cook, the nutritionist, the doctor, the spiritual advisor. And it wears on you. Whereas when you were younger and you didn't have all them responsibilities, you can invest easily into the total package, the aesthetic. And all of that stuff mattered because you were in your competing years. You were in those years where competing was cool and you were with it and you could compete because you had the energy, you were freed up mentally to do it. But as life progresses and you come in and out of things and it just wears on you. So and then also you gain strengths in other areas and then you forfeit strengths in other areas. So you swap out things. So what was important to you in your 20s or 30s are no longer important to you. That image thing is cool and you can compete with the best of them, surely. But you're not focused on that because that's not all you got. You're up here on another area of life that a lot of people probably aren't. So it's nothing for you to lessen your ability in this other area that you've already mastered. You got receipts. You've mastered in that already. There's no more attention needed in that unless you actually need to put it in there. And you can do that at a whim. Who can't go put on some outfit and doll themselves up a little bit? Or go get some plastic surgery or Botox or some fillers and all this. Who can't do that? But do you have character? Do you have integrity? Do you know how to pray? Do you have a relationship with God that is bankable and sustainable for you and your family? The things that matter in this life, regardless of if you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend or not. If a crisis came upon you, can you weather the storm? Can you bunker down all of them people that are under your umbrella and protect them by your grace and by your anointing? Can you do that? These be the things, friend. Are you a blessing when you come into somebody's life? Or do you bring negativity? Do you wreak havoc in people's lives? Or do you bless their lives? Do you come with gifts or do you take? All you doing is requesting and taking, requiring and taking. And then when things don't go your way, you out. Are you a wolf that comes in people's lives looking like a blessing and a gift, like a Trojan horse, but you're nothing but a virus to kill and destroy and steal from those people? These be the things. Because I'm here to tell you, it's a lot of people out here laying with viruses just because they don't want to be by themselves. I've seen it my whole life. I've seen it my whole life. So, the purpose of the video is really to say that if we all worked on ourselves truly without trying to just look an image but really get to the meat of things and iron our walk out spiritually. We're nothing but assets in that space. You have nothing but gifts. Because when you begin to walk with God and allow God to direct the path of your life, God fine-tunes all of the nonsense out of you. You won't even be impressed any longer. It takes a lot to really impress you. You could give someone a compliment and leave it at that. There's no manipulation to that. I meant that, but I don't expect any more from you than that. Whereas the world will take that compliment or will give that compliment with an open door clause to it as to, something else. But for you, it is what it is. It is strictly that, because there's no manipulation here. And those are the things that are rare in life. I'm telling you. Those are the things that are rare in life. It's a lot of traumatized people out here. People that have come in and out of situations with wolves in sheep's clothing, where they don't know who to trust. So everybody looks the same. Everybody is a potential threat. But when you walk with God, friend, I'm here to tell you, because I've been there. I've been in situations where it was like, he over there looking like such and such again. I've seen that before. I've been there. But you find yourself boxed in and limited. It's heavy in them places. I can't live heavy. I need to be light, because I like to go. I like where spirit takes me. I like to be able to move in spirit when I deem myself necessary to move in spirit, or when spirit deems itself necessary to move in me. I enjoy it. So all of that kind of stuff that weighs on you in life, I let go. I heal. I look to heal myself, no matter how long it takes, by shining the light of truth on it. Because all of these energies hate light. They don't like it. They don't like to be seen and named and discovered. So that there is no fear of a sheep approaching me that's really a wolf. And him or her being able to come and devour my crops and to destroy all that God has built within me. There is no fear in that. None. Because I know that God will show the truth of that to me. It will only go so far before the light of truth is shined upon it. Thus, exposing me to another experience that will better me, and exposing that person to an experience that should better them as well. Everything is created to benefit you. There are beautiful people in this world. They just might not be in the package that you are used to seeing them in. I ask that you change your viewpoint. Because those people can be just as beautiful as the people that you like to see, that and yet don't have those characteristics within them yet, or maybe ever will have. But there are people out here, both men and women, that have those characteristics. And more. They're just not out here parading them around for sale. They're not on the sale rack. You're not going to find them on the sale rack, friend. And they're not going to allow you to come into their lives and cheapen anything. You're not going to lessen anything. They just disappear. They're not going to make no big deal out of it. It's not going to be no big, long, drawn out scenario. They're just going to disappear. They just won't call you again. Because a lot of times those people are okay with being with themselves. They're okay with the lives that they've created for themselves. And that's what makes them so ambiguous. They're not thirsty. They're not calling and texting, and it's not that they don't care. It's not that. It just may be that you haven't shown something in yourself that makes you different from the rest of the world either. It takes two to tango. And then I also saw this video where a guy was talking about, can a man in his 50s or 60s find true love? And the guy was like, no, he can't. And he said he can't find it because if he hasn't found it yet, he'll never find it. And I thought that is so disheartening, because I can't believe that. I do not believe that at all. I'm 50. And I know for myself that I believe that I will have everything God has for me to have in this life. Period. I'm the best I've ever been, ever. So why wouldn't a man be? The older you get, the better you should be getting. Mentally, at least, the better you should be getting. So sure, an older man's body might not be as strong and as active as he was when he was in his 20s and 30s. Neither is her body. I mean, the desires change. So if you're 50 or 60 and you're a guy and you want to still get out there like you were when you were 20 and 30, you need to rethink where you are. Like, why? Why? As you grow in life, your desires change. Your needs shift. Why is it important to be like you were when you were in your 20s and 30s? And with your needs shifting, you become more mature. You look back at your life and you see all the good decisions you made. You see all the bad ones you made. And you are able to make purposeful choices. You are better because of your experiences. Or you should be, even if they were all bad. You're better at this point because now you've come to the wisdom of realizing the mistakes you've made. You have now to do better. Why would you not think that you could have better if now you can do better? Why would you not think that? Why would you not think that there is a woman out there that can offer you, just meet you right where you at and offer you all that you desire in a woman? Unless your ideology of what a woman should be is off, or unless you feel like you don't deserve it. Because a lot of times, friend, I've noticed that the things that we condemn and we say isn't out there is because we don't really feel like we deserve it. We just don't say that. We cover it up with all of the wrongs that has happened to us. And we blame other people for mistreating us when really they didn't mistreat us. You just banked on the wrong decision. You banked on the wrong person who was showing you who they were all along. You stuck with that. all of that. And they moved on or got back with or stayed with whoever. And now you out here playing musical chairs again. Wanted to come on with this one. It would be great if I had someone to interview on this one, but it just came upon me and I decided to come on and do a video. You know, all that we desire is readily available. All of us. Everything we desire is readily available for all of us. Sure, there are people that will come and misrepresent themselves. Nobody gets in a relationship or nobody begins dating someone and just tells them all their history, all the mistakes they've made, all this, all that. Nobody does that. Everybody puts their best foot forward. It's like having a job interview. You're not going to go in that job interview talking about how you hated the job and all the details to what you disliked about your last job. You don't do that. You speak to all the highs and all the wins. And then you decide if both parties agree to work with one another. And then through the activity of you on that job, you either keep it or you find out that it's not for you and you go somewhere else. It's the same thing in a relationship. Same thing. You just got to find somebody you're willing to go through stuff with. And that's at the older age or the younger age. You're going to go through it. You just need to find out that person is worthy enough. They have the qualities that you need within a person. The things that you can't overlook. That they possess those qualities. And that you're willing to go through some things with that person. Because of the qualities that they do possess. That you do find mandatory. They have them. And those qualities, I can't tell you what they are. You know what they are. Because they're different for everyone. No one can tell you what they should be. Those are your non-negotiables. But when you find someone that possesses them, you work with them. It's got to be more like a friendship. At least for me at this stage, it's got to be. I gotta like you. I know I can make it. I'm not afraid that, I need someone in my life or else my life is not going to be complete. I am not that person. No. I actually have to like you. And you bring something unique and I bring something unique. And together our uniqueness can make each other better. We can create something better together. Yours might be different, but I just came on to tell you that all things are possible. There is no impossible. There is no drought in goodness in the world. I do not believe that. Even though I know that there's a lot of wickedness, I have seen wickedness in ways that I never thought I would see it. But I've also seen goodness. God has shown me goodness at the time that I saw wickedness. Regardless to the vessels that showed up, who am I to micromanage the vessels? This is the brilliance. And this is what we do as people. We will micromanage the vessels and say, oh, I don't know if you were worthy enough to be that nice to me. Why were you so nice to me? Why was it? Oh, it must be that that's not my job. My job is to act. I am the vessel of God in the earth, and my job is to act. And I thank God for all the other vessels that God has active in the earth. Because it has been those vessels that have come and blessed my life in a way that has led me closer to the God within me. And allowed me to use myself as a vessel in a way to bless other people by watching me. Even when I didn't want to be seen. Even when I was angry about being seen, that were able to watch me. And by watching me, they were led closer to the God that is within them. It is marvelous. It's marvelous. And I'm just over here singing my song to you to testify to you that there is no drought. I ask that you look at qualities within people. Because sometimes, friend, like I was getting back to and I didn't finish, we as women, we wear so many hats. We swap out the aesthetics sometimes. I know for me, friend, sometimes when I go to the grocery store, I be looking crazy. I don't know what. Whereas before, when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't. Oh, no. I had to get together. I had to do this. I had to do that before I would even step foot out the house. Now, I put on a hat. I got to go. I got stuff to do. Because that's not the biggest draw for me. And that is also because I have so many things that I have to do, or that I'm dealing with so much. It's just not, I didn't have the luxury of having, the wherewithal to keep it all together like that. And there are a lot of women out there like that too. But some of them are the greatest women you'll ever meet, that could bless your whole life, that are needed. They are needful. They are useful. And that you don't find often. And there are men out there the same way. But you'll never know it. They wouldn't expose that side to you without you exposing a side to them that lets them want to let you see that in them. That's how that goes. And when you lead from the heart, my cousin told me this. When you lead from the heart, that's how you let that side of you show. When you just show your heart, when you show that innate side of you, not that worldly side, but that heartfelt side. That's what sets you apart. Just a word for y'all. Another podcast episode. I think this is 14. You're loved more than you'll ever know. We're all in this thing together. And the only reason I come forth and telling you these things is because I lived them and I know what I'm talking about. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Peace and love.